He had money, power, options, private flights, five-star hotels, a life most people only scroll past. And yet, this rich American visitor broke down crying in the middle of the Philippines. Not in a church, not at a funeral, not because he lost something, but because he found something he never knew he was missing. Here's the contradiction. He came to help and realized he was the one who was poor. He landed expecting paradise. Beaches, cheap labor, smiling faces. What he didn't expect was to be emotionally dismantled in less than a week. The moment it started wasn't dramatic. No music, no speech, just a look. A look from a kid barefoot on hot concrete, laughing like life owed him nothing. That look hit harder than any business failure he'd ever survived. This American, let's call him Mark, had built companies, sold companies, and escaped burnout by traveling. The Philippines was just another pin on the map, another experience, another story to tell rich friends back home. He booked a luxury resort, ocean view, infinity pool, personal driver, total control. Then he decided to leave the resort. That was mistake number one. If you still believe comfort teaches you anything. He walked into a neighborhood tourists don't Instagram. No filters, no curated smiles, just real life. Tin roofs, narrow alleys, open doors, kids running around with nothing in their hands and everything in their faces. He noticed something immediately. People looked at him, but not like he was superior, not like he was a wallet, not like he was a savior. They looked at him like he was human. That alone confused him. Back home, money changes how people see you. In boardrooms, it buys silence. In social circles, it buys fake laughter. In relationships, it buys doubt. Here, no one cared. A woman selling food waved him over and handed him a plate. No upsell, no pressure, just food. He tried to pay extra. She pushed his hand back. Later, she said, "Eat first." That sentence cracked something. Eat first, not pay first, not prove first, not earn first. Eat first. He sat on a plastic chair that had seen better decades. The food wasn't fancy, but it was cooked with intent. He took one bite and felt embarrassed, not because the food was bad, but because he realized how long it had been since someone did something for him without wanting something back. He looked around. Kids sharing one phone, watching the same video, laughing like it was the best thing on earth. Men coming home tired, still joking. Women working non-stop, still smiling. No one pretended life was easy, but no one acted like life was pointless either. That night, back in his resort, Mark couldn't sleep. The silence was loud. He kept thinking about one thing. Why do people with less seem to carry more joy? The next day, he skipped the driver. He walked. He met a fisherman who had lost his boat in a storm. No insurance, no bailout, no GoFundMe. "So what now?" Mark asked. The man shrugged. "Tomorrow, we try again." No bitterness, no victim speech, no rant about the system, just tomorrow. That broke him a little more. In America, Mark had seen people with everything complain endlessly. Here, people with almost nothing complained none less. And it didn't make sense. He visited a public school, crowded classrooms, old books. Teachers paid less than his daily coffee budget. And yet the kids stood when he entered, smiled, said, "Thank you for nothing." One kid asked him a question that hit like a punch. "Are you happy where you come from?" He froze. No one had asked him that in years. He had status, achievements, numbers. But happiness? He couldn't answer. That night, it happened. He was walking back through the neighborhood when the rain started. Hard, sudden, tropical. People pulled others under roofs. Strangers became family in seconds. Someone grabbed his arm and pulled him inside a small home. No hesitation. Inside, 3 generations shared one space. The TV barely worked. The walls were thin. But the laughter was thick. They offered him a towel, dry clothes, dinner. He protested. They ignored him. That's when Mark broke. Not loud sobbing, not dramatic collapse, just tears he couldn't stop. Because for the first time in decades, he felt safe without being in control. No title, no money talk, no expectations, just presence. He realized something terrifying. Back home, his wealth insulated him from humanity. Here, poverty hadn't. He thought success meant independence. But what he saw was interdependence. People leaned on each other without shame. In his world, needing help meant weakness. Here, needing help meant being human. The next morning, he cancelled his return flight, not to find himself, not to play savior, but to sit longer in the discomfort of truth. He stopped donating through apps. He started listening. He learned that dignity matters more than dollars, that pride can survive without possessions, that joy isn't purchased, it's practiced. He watched families eat together every night. Phones down, eyes up. He remembered how he ate alone in penthouses, scrolling through bad news. He saw kids respect elders without fear. Elders guide kids without resentment. He remembered boardroom politics and fake mentorships. One afternoon, a man asked him, "Why are you really here?" Mark answered honestly, "I thought I was rich." The man laughed, not mockingly but knowingly. "Rich is when you can sleep without fear," he said. "Rich is when people wait for you to come home." That sentence ended the argument Mark had been having with himself his whole life. When he finally left the Philippines, he didn't post a luxury recap. No beach shots. No humble brag captions. He left quieter. But changed. Back in America, something felt wrong. The speed, the noise, the obsession. He started calling people instead of emailing, eating with others instead of alone, listening without fixing. He downsized his life, not because money was bad, but because excess had been numbing him. Here's the part that shocks most people. Mark didn't cry in the Philippines because it was sad. He cried because it exposed a lie he'd been living. That wealth equals fulfillment. That comfort equals peace. That success equals happiness. The Philippines didn't make him poor. It revealed where he already was. And that's why this story matters. Because the real shock isn't that a rich American cried. It's that millions of people are chasing a life that silently starves them. You don't need to move countries to learn this, but you do need to confront it. Ask yourself this. If all your money disappeared tomorrow, who would still show up for you? Who would pull you out of the rain? Who would say, "Eat first"? That answer tells you everything. If this story made you uncomfortable, good. If it made you think, even better. Because sometimes the richest lesson comes from the poorest place. And the hardest tears come from realizing you had everything except what mattered.